Step 3 is reframing your story, or the no victim zone. Now, it's inevitable. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get the one yes. And I know, rejection never feels good. So let's work on reframing your experience. The 2 G's, gratitude and a Gmail folder. Now, in my Gmail, I have a folder that holds all of my rejections, and I call it the abundance folder. For every no I get, I give gratitude, because that position would not have been the right fit for me. And this is the universe's way of loving me. I move it into my abundance folder and then just keep going. Now, why do I keep my rejections in a folder? So I don't keep applying to the same jobs repeatedly. Number 2, thank you for rejecting me. If you receive a particularly good rejection letter, one that is thoughtful and kind, write back to the recruiter who sent it and thank them for their response and their support. You'd be surprised the impact that this makes on a recruiter. Now, 3 months after I was rejected from a job, the recruiter I wrote to reached back out to me because I had taken the time to thank them, and they hired me. So never mistake the power of kindness to make an impact. Number 3, review and re-strategize. Now, if you keep getting rejected and aren't getting any positive responses from your resume, then you may need a new strategy or a new resume. That's called being proactive and curious about the lack of progress. So no self-blame stories, just an objective review of the approach you're taking to find the next opportunity. This is where a session with a career counselor or a recruiter or just reaching out to the job discovery community can really be helpful. Number 4 is beware of the story you tell. When you get rejected, do not go down the victim rabbit hole. The stories we tell ourselves are what create our misery, and most of the time, they're not true. You have no idea why you weren't selected. It could have been a glitch in the applicant tracking system. It could have been the role was already filled by referral, or perhaps some internal candidate got the job. Or it might be that you really, truly were not a fit for the position. Just don't start telling yourself old stories like, you're not good enough, you're not young enough, or pretty or smart enough, because telling yourself those stories makes them true. You become your story that you're telling others. So stop telling your victim story. Acknowledge your feelings and your frustrations, and just let those feelings be without covering them up in stories that make you a loser or helpless. 5, be aware of the stories you hear. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, but everyone has something to say about your job search. From the economy sucks to there are no jobs out there, don't leave a job without finding another one first, or if you're making a career switch, people saying, what? How will you ever make money doing that? Stories can also come from podcasts, TV, radio, other unemployed friends, and former coworkers. So do yourself a favor, and them also, just don't listen. Everyone has a story that they tell themselves, and the more they believe it, the more of a reality it becomes, so don't buy in. Either ask them to stop sharing their negative story, or just walk away. A positive mindset will be easier to maintain when you are surrounded by other people with a similar mindset.